guys, welcome to another week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just getting started here. Give me a couple seconds. Don't even have my drink going yet. Hope you do, and if you don't, I'll give you a couple minutes to pour something cold. Especially tonight, you need something cold. It got really hot this week, and then we'll get started. Keep in mind that if you are playing for the first time, I will provide you a link with how to register your team and your team name and track your scores. I'll put that up in just a second in the chat box here. Hey, Jacob, good to see you back. Just for you, Spam. I hide it when it's not quizzing in quarantine week. Is the picture looking really fuzzy to you guys tonight? It looks fuzzy on this other monitor I'm looking at. Or maybe I'm just looking extra sketchy this week, and it's my overgrown beard. Okay, good. Here, I'm going to share. That's the artistic. I like that. I'll take artistic. So that's the link that I just shared is the link that you need in order to register your team. You don't have to do it right away. In fact, you don't have to record your scores or enter your team name until we complete our first 2 rounds of trivia. But you might want to just have that link on hand. And only one person on your team needs to enter your scores and your team name. You can nominate a team representative, a secretary to input that information. Yeah, I've got a lot of windows open. Let me get rid of some of these. All right, looks like we got almost 100 people joining us. We'll give it a couple more minutes. Hopefully we'll get up to a little bit higher attendance count. I know that the numbers start to drop a little bit when the weather gets nice, though tonight in Toronto it's a little wet and overcast, so maybe that'll generate some higher attendance. But if you are just joining us and if you want to share this link on any of your social media platforms, the YouTube link should be easy to access and easy to share, and encourage people to come out. Hey, Michael, good to see you back. Let me get that drink and then we'll get started. I'll probably switch to beer in a little bit, but I feel like this is the type of, it's the final Sunday or final weekend in May. I feel like it's sort of a summer cocktail kind of weekend. So I figured I'd start with a Negroni and go from there, see where how the night unfolds. If you are brand new to drinking and thinking, here's how this unfolds, or quizzing in quarantine, as we're calling it, while we're all in self-isolation. We're going to play 6 rounds of trivia. Each round is going to be worth roughly about 10 points. You are responsible for recording your answers and recording your scores. Honesty is key to the success of this event. So I encourage you to please, despite the exciting prizes that I'm going to announce in a couple seconds, I encourage you to be as honest and truthful as possible, because that's the way this night is, that's the way it works, is trusting people's honor. But if you want to cheat, here are the prizes that you might be able to win if you cheat and come out on top. Tonight, first prize. I haven't even checked with our friends at Steam Whistle if I can do this tonight, but they're always so generous, and I feel like I'm just going to go for it and beg for forgiveness if they're not prepared to actually donate some prizes tonight. And if anyone from Steam Whistle is watching, let me know. But they've always been such huge supporters, and I'm just going to assume that they will kick in tonight. But Steam Whistle is going to hopefully award us the first prize tonight. Beer delivered to your house. I think they just celebrated their 20th anniversary. They've had a really busy summer and spring throughout all this, despite not being able to be open as their normal selves as a brewery with lots of tours and people coming in and out. They're still unveiling new beers and celebrating big anniversaries. And so tonight we're going to give away as first prize beer from Steam Whistle. Our second prize tonight, as has been the case for a lot of our time during quizzing and quarantine, will be 2 pounds of coffee from our friends at Reunion Coffee on Rossesville. Tonight we're adding a new incentive. In order to pick up your prize, in order to get your prize, you've got to drop by their spot on Rotsy. It's open now, 7 days a week, still respecting social distancing, obviously not allowing people to stay in the cafe, but you can go in, get beverages, get coffee beans, and in this case, pick up your 2 pounds of free coffee if you come in second place tonight. And then, as we always do, we'll have our penultimate prize, the prize for the team that comes in second last, which tonight will be a $20 gift card to the LCBO, donated by my dad, as he's done the last almost 8 or 9 weeks. So thanks, Dad, and best of luck to any team vying for that spot. It's not as easy as you think, because if you want to come in last, you can throw your scores and easily do that. But coming in second last takes a bit of work and a bit of skill and a bit of finesse. Keep in mind that in order to qualify for any of the rounds, any of the prizes, you need to have completed all the rounds and make sure that you've recorded your scores for all rounds that we embark on. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, the fire. Got to turn on the fake fireplace to get the night truly underway. There we go. I don't think I'm missing anything else. We have now, how many people? We're up to about 125. Not too bad. Ooh, that is strong. Jesus. I don't need, oh my God, it's gonna be a big night. All right, so we start, as we do every week, with things I think you should know, 10 random knowledge trivia questions, each question worth a point. This round, I feel like, why I want to be such an asshole, but it seems like I feel like it's a tougher round one than we normally see. So if you find yourself now loving it after one round of trivia, stick through, because I guarantee things get maybe a little more accessible. And I've tried to include questions or thematic type events for all comers tonight. So don't, if the first round isn't your cup of tea, stick around, and there's probably more for you in Mokai's big book of trivia. I will try my best, Ryan, to read the answers. No promises. You guys might have to prompt me. I think 3 weeks in a row now I've forgotten to read the answers before concluding the night. But tonight I'll try my best. Here we go. Question number 1, things I think you should know is, who wrote the literary classic Moby Dick? Question number 1, who wrote the literary classic Moby Dick? Question number 2, what 1999 film was promoted using the tagline, quote, "Hello, my name is Andy, and this is my movie"? Question number 2, what 1999 film was promoted using the tagline, quote, "Hello, my name is Andy, and this is my movie"? It is thick, Brad, and I have 2 of them. Audio is breaking up. Okay, let me try. You know what I forgot to do? Let me try and plug in my Ethernet cable. This might make a difference. Okay. Well, we'll see. I now have Ethernet, so hopefully that's a fail-safe. Probably not. I'm sure something will go wrong. But let me know, Michael, if things are better for you. Apparently, you might be the only one experiencing audio issues. Here we go. Question number 3 from the world of Asian geography. Japan is made up of 4 main islands, the largest of which is home to Tokyo. Name that island. Question number 3. Japan is made up of 4 main islands, the largest of which is home to Tokyo. Name that island. Question number 4. The final original Calvin and Hobbes comic strip is published. Jacques Chirac is elected president of France, and the Queen advises an early divorce to Lady Diana Spencer and Charles, Prince of Wales, though the divorce would not be finalized until the following year. What year is it? Again, question number 4. All these 3 things happened in the same year. The final original Calvin and Hobbes comic is published. Jacques Chirac is elected president of France, and the Queen grants what's called an early divorce to Lady Diana Spencer and Prince Charles. However, their divorce would not be finalized until the following year. Question number 5 from the world of television, going back to the 90s. Who owned the Peach Pit on TV's Beverly Hills 90210 and actually its spin-off series, just 90210? You need the name. First name is fine, but the person who owned the Peach Pit on Beverly Hills 90210. Question again, who owned the Peach Pit on TV's Beverly Hills 90210? That is question number 5. Question number 6. Which part of the eye is colored and surrounds the pupil? Question number 6. Which part of the eye is colored and surrounds the pupil? Question number 7, things I think you should know. In the world of law and order, what do the letters MO stand for? Investigators are looking into a crime and they wonder what the suspect's MO was. What does MO stand for in the world of crime? Question number 8. As is often the case, tonight we are doing a Know Your News question, a question from the news cycle from the last 7 days. This story, I believe, might have just come out today, so you're either going to have to guess or be really up on your recent headlines. Question number 8. Name the sports star born in the year 1981 who today topped the Forbes list of highest paid athletes of 2020. Yeah, Jacob, good point. I thought about not referencing. It has been a shitty week for news. It has been a shitty year for news. Like I, as a lot of you know, work in that field, and there have been some dark times behind us. But this year is just unrelenting and unparalleled in terms of the awful stories that have evolved. And this week, sadly, is no exception. And I was going to say something off the top of it this week, but I thought everybody could probably use a bit of a reprieve, even if just for 2 hours of reveling in something maybe a little more positive than the news cycle, which is nerdy trivia. So with that, again, question number 8. Name the athlete, name the sports star born in the year 1981 who just today topped the Forbes list of highest paid athletes of 2020. My pleasure, Spam. I mean, there are tons of important issues to get into and a lot of work to be done, but I think everybody, and for your own mental health, needs a little bit of time of just detaching. So I'd encourage you, even though you're on the internet right now, don't delve too deep into it. Question number 9. What does the letter D stand for in the acronym DNA? Sorry, I phrased that incorrectly. What I wanted to ask, I'm sorry, I'm going to rephrase that question. What does the A stand for in the acronym DNA? You do not need to know what D stands for, simply A. What does the letter A stand for in the acronym DNA? That is question number 9. And finally, question number 10. In the year 1594, William Shakespeare joined the company of what London theatre? Question number 10. In the year 1594, playwright William Shakespeare joined the company of what London theatre? Hey, Fernando, thanks for joining us. This is a pub quiz night, Sans Pub, coming out of Toronto. And that is question number 10, the last question in this round of trivia. I will go back and read each question one more time. So if you're just joining us and you still want to compete, I will read each question from this. All right, everybody in your D jokes. We will, more Ds to come later in the night, later in the show. But before we get there, we have to recap the questions from round number 1. And I will do that starting now. Question number 1. Who wrote the literary classic Moby Dick? Question number 2. What 1999 movie was promoted using the tagline, quote, "Hello, my name is Andy, and this is my movie"? Question number 3. Japan is made up of 4 main islands, the largest of which is home to Tokyo. Name that island. Question number 4. The final original Calvin and Hobbes, cartoon is published. Jacques Chirac is elected president of France, and the Queen grants an early divorce for Lady Diana Spencer and Prince Charles, though the divorce would not become finalized until the following year. What year is it? Question number 5. Who owned the Peach Pit on TV's Beverly Hills 90210 and the spin-off series 90210? Question number 6. Which part of the eye is colored and surrounds the pupil? Which part of the eye is colored and surrounds the pupil? Question number 7. In the world of law and order, what do the letters MO stand for? Question number 8. Name the athlete who was born in 1981 and today topped the Forbes list of the top paid athletes of 2020. Question number 9. What does the A stand for in the acronym DNA? And finally, the last question in the round. In the year 1594, William Shakespeare joined the company of what London theatre? Ha, Frank, good to see you. Snuru, I believe, is playing. You just need to find his team and or text him and see if you can join his team. He does well at this round. Again, those are the questions. What did I say? Oh yeah, question number 10. Name the theater company that Shakespeare joined in 1594 in London. Those are the questions that make up round number 1. We will move on to round number 2, which is the 10. I'm going to give you a list of things. You have to write down 10 things that belong on that list. And for every correct item you list, you'll get a point. Pretty simple. You'll have tonight, let's say 7.5 minutes to complete this round. I'll set my timer. 7.5 minutes to complete this list. And I know that you'll have to think back because the list doesn't necessarily apply to the last 2 airings of what I'm about to say. But, there we go, I just lost it. Here we go. You're going to have 7.5 minutes to name 10 of the last 12 people to host the Oscars. 10 of the last 12 people to host the Academy Awards. You just need their name, their first and last name. 7.5 minutes starting now. Good question, Jeremy. They each count as individuals. Good question. They don't count as a pair if you can name multiple people who both co-hosted the Oscars. No one does not count, David. Fair question. No one does not count. The last 2 years, both in the calendar year 2020 and in the calendar year 2019, there were no hosts for the Oscars. Those answers don't count. I'll check the time. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to name 10 of the last 12 hosts of the Oscars. Name 10 of the last 12 hosts of the Academy Awards. Correct, Susan. If the awards were hosted by two separate people, co-hosts, you get a point for you if you can name both of those individuals. How much time do we have now? 3 minutes, only 3 minutes and 30 seconds to try and brainstorm. Think about how many names you can mention or list. You need 10 of the last 12 people who have hosted the Academy Awards. It's a point per person, Lindsay. Point per person, even if they were a pair who co-hosted. Don't stress too much about pairs who co-hosted. I don't think there have been many. Coming up shortly, we're going to announce the Scavenger, the self-isolation scavenger hunt clue of the night. Don't want to miss that. That's coming up in the next couple minutes. Until then, though, we have 2 minutes and 26 seconds left to complete this round. 2 minutes and 26 seconds. How much time do we have left in this round now? 1 minute and 45 seconds. 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the round. 1 minute, exactly 1 minute to complete the list of as many recent Oscar hosts as you can recall. You can get up to 10 points. There are 12 names I will accept. Oscar Isaac's a good guess. When in doubt, do that. All right, we're getting down to the final seconds. Ten seconds to complete the list. All right. That's it. That is time. Time to put down your writing utensils, and we will now embark on taking up the correct answers from rounds 1 and rounds 2. Adele Dazeem. I think was that a question I asked recently? I don't know if it was in trivia in person or trivia here. You got a bonus point if you remembered how John Travolta pronounced. Now I'm forgetting her real name. Idina Menzel's, how he slaughtered her name a couple of years back. All right, here we go. Starting with the correct answers for round number 1, you get a single point for every correct answer in this round. Who wrote the literary classic Moby Dick? His name, Herman Melville. Herman Melville is the correct answer for question number 1. Question number 2, the film promoted using the tagline, "Hello, my name is Andy, and this is my movie." The movie was a biopic about the life of Andy Kaufman, the comedian. The movie was called, though, Man on the Moon. It starred Jim Carrey. Man on the Moon is the correct answer. Question number 3, Japan is made up of 4 main islands. The largest is home to Tokyo. That island is called Honshu, Honshu. Question number 4, original Calvin and Hobbes ceases production. Jacques Chirac elected president of France, and the Princess Diana and Charles get a divorce. All those things happened in the year 1995. 1995. Who owned the Peach Pit on Beverly Hills 90210? The character's name was Nat, N-A-T, Nat. Question number 6. The part of the eye that is colored and that surrounds the pupil, it is known as the iris. Iris. Question number 7. In the world of law and order, the letters M-O stand for modus operandi, or modus operandi. Question number 8, from the headlines this week. The athlete who, according to Forbes, is 2020's highest paid sports star in the world, born in 1981. He's from Switzerland. He's a tennis player. His name is Roger Federer. Roger Federer. Question number 9. What does the letter A stand for in DNA? It stands for acid. Acid. And finally, the theater company that Shakespeare joined in 1594 in London was known as the Globe Theater. Globe Theater. Those are the correct answers for round number 1. Round number 2, the 10. You had to name 10 of the 12 most recent Oscar hosts, keeping in mind the last 2 Oscar ceremonies went without hosts. The next Oscar ceremony is going to go without an audience, presumably. Here we go. We'll start most recently and work our way back. Starting in 2018, the last time they had a host was Jimmy Kimmel. In 2017, it was also Jimmy Kimmel, but you can only write him down once. Jimmy Kimmel for a point. Before him, Chris Rock. Chris Rock. Before him, Neil Patrick Harris. Neil Patrick Harris. Before NPH was Ellen DeGeneres in 2014. She took that selfie seen around the world of her and a bunch of famous people. That's number in 2014. Number 2013 rather was Seth MacFarlane, creator of Family Guy. 2012, this is kind of old school, but Billy Crystal, one of those synonymous people with hosting the Oscars, Billy Crystal. A lot of you referenced this duo. In 2011, there were two co-hosts. It's the only, well, there are a couple of years on this list that had co-hosts. 2011 was one of them. James Franco for 1 point, and Anne Hathaway for the other. James Franco and Anne Hathaway. In 2010, the people that hosted in 2010 were Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin. Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin in 2010. And then before them, Hugh Jackman. And before Hugh Jackman, it was Jon Stewart of The Daily Show fame. Again, I will repeat this list. You get a single point for every correct name you have on this list. Those names are Jimmy Kimmel, Chris Rock, Neil Patrick Harris, Ellen DeGeneres, Seth MacFarlane, Billy Crystal, James Franco, Anne Hathaway, Steve Martin, Alec Baldwin, Hugh Jackman, and Jon Stewart. All right. Well done. That is the end of round 2. It is now time for you to go and at least only one person on your team. I will share this link one more time just so you have it handy. But you need to. You got 12, Brad? I don't buy that for a second, but if you did, well done. But no, you can only get 10 points. So even if you got all 12, you still only get 10 points. There we go. That is the form that I'm sharing one more time, the link to the form. If you want to record your scores, record your team name, you have to record your scores in that document if you want to compete for prizes. Again, tonight we're playing for Steam Whistle Beer, playing for Reunion Island or Reunion Coffee, formerly Reunion Island, now just Reunion Coffee, and an LCBO gift card. Plus, what we are also playing for tonight, which is very exciting, perhaps the best prize of the night, I would say, in my opinion, and that's the prize for our self-isolation scavenger hunt. Here's the challenge. Sometimes the challenge is to be the first to find something in your house, and other times it's to be the person who finds the biggest or highest or most unique something in your house. Tonight is the biggest, and I haven't figured out how I will quantify biggest, but I am the judge and jury, so I will decide. Here we go. So you don't rush and do this right away because I'll judge throughout the night. But tonight, the prize, I'll tell you the prize first. The prize is the ugliest oven mitt that I could find for sale. You will be sent this oven mitt. It is hideous, but it is also endearing. It's a big lobster claw oven mitt. It actually looks like a fire hazard and probably is not easy to maneuver, but it is hideous and that's all that matters. So if you want to win that lobster claw oven mitt, you have to take a photograph. I realize how dangerous this sounds, but take a photograph of you holding the largest knife in your kitchen. The person with the largest cooking knife. You can't qualify with a sword. This needs to be a knife for cooking. You will win the lobster claw oven mitt. Got it? And yes, you do submit the first 2 rounds of your team name and your scores. Yvonne, you do submit them now. Banana for scale. Yeah, sure. You can hold up a banana for scale if you have one. I mean, I'm hoping that I'll just be able to tell if you're holding it up like this. I'll be able to gauge the size of your knife. All right. So that's the self-isolation scavenger hunt. While you're doing that, someone on your team hopefully right now is sending in your team name and your score. I'm going to check our spreadsheet, make sure these scores are coming in. Length and girth. I think it'll be a combination of all factors of size. All right. Let me check and see how we're doing on responses. Ooh, 66 teams so far have registered their score. I'll give it a couple more seconds and then we'll do the much anticipated introduction of teams. In case anyone was wondering, that is the oven mitt up for grabs. That is a very special oven mitt. All right, here we go. I am hopefully now all teams have entered their name and their initial points. I'm seeing that round one was tough, not easy for everybody. That's okay. We've got some more accessible rounds coming up, but I want to take a moment, just sit right there, and I'll tell you about how the teams are about. No, that's fine. All right. I will read each team tonight. Welcome to the following 67 plus teams. Those teams are Trinity Bell Woodstock. That's very good. I like that. Soup Lovers 2.0, $4 Mill Street, Live in Covita Loca, Twitter Fact Checkers. I like that too. Keith Urban Missile, aka Bring Back Before and After. I think it'll make an appearance. Probably not this week, but it will. Before and After round will make an appearance sometime soon. Quiz Free or Die, Trivia Lassies The Dog, Bytown Pandemic Badgers, Team Discovery Channel, YTV's Weird on Wheels, A Buys and a Bay, The Bytown Badgers, Honeywagon Swampers, Batmoose, Information of Little Importance or Value, Trinity Bell, wouldn't it be great if people just listened to experts, aka Threat Level Midnight, Penny and the Jets, Happy Graduation Alley, Second Last, Let's Get Quizzical, Big Brian Academy Social Distance Edition, in brackets, Where Are All My Friends, Stump the Bump, Lysolve It, Hoochie Mama, Shaloozers, Monkeys on the Loose, I Get Locked Down, But I Get Up Again. I like that too. Mackay's Wayfair Chairs, amazing. These are from Wayfair. I'm sure they would go up like this in a fire. We have our local heroes of Trivia Mun. They've been here since the beginning. Good to see them again. Tarps Off, The Three Musket Beers, You're a Quizzard, Harry, Playing Pantless, Trinity Bellwoods Wrestling League, good. Sissy Space X, that's pretty good too. Man, you guys are on fire tonight. Rah Rah Rasputin, Hanging in Trivia Bellwoods, COVID with Lime, The Rockaways, We Own 5% of Grimes Soul, hydrochloric quiz, there we go. Happy birthday, Emma Happy. The Real IMDb, A Case of the Mondays, Not the Chens, Bethany Bubble, Quizzy McGuire, Tit Soup for the Quarantine Soul, Special K and the Bem Bems, King Quizzard and the Lizard Quizzard, Panic Level Midnight, My Dog Has Pink Eye, Let's Play Trivia, Cut Your Own and Save, Who's Afraid of the Who, spelled WHO, obviously, Joey Triviani, Billy Ray Virus, We Don't Know Jack, My Corona, My Days, Happy Birthday Robson, The Cooler King and the Greasy Hogs, I Am Spartacus, Brochel Distancing, Quizlings, Praz featuring Old Dirty Bastard and introducing Maya, Bunch of Baboozers Boys, Small Brian Academy, Brian versus Brian, Quizzies in the Front, Party in My Butt, and Monocle Whores. 71 teams, most of whom have awkward names, but hilarious. Oh yeah, I was supposed to give you an email address to send a picture. I will do that now, despite recommendations that I shouldn't put my email address on the internet. There we go. Brian versus Brian night. My friends are dead to me, says Jacob. All right. We will move on now to round 3 and round 4. Keep in mind that you can still enter your knife pictures all night long. Well, not all night long, but till the end of the night, which is usually just before 10 o'clock. So if you have a really large knife that you think might win you the lobster claw oven mitt, send me an email at the email address that I just provided. Average scores. Thank you for the reminder post theory. Average scores. The average score for round number 1 was, and I fully admit, round number 1 was slightly difficult. The average was 7. Wow. I thought it would be lower. Well done. The average score for round number 2 was 7 as well. The average score then, after 2 rounds of play, is 14. So if you're scoring above 14, congratulations, you're doing well, and perhaps going to go home with some beer or some coffee. If you're not doing so well, that's okay too. You might go home with a $20 gift card for the LCBO if you're in penultimate place. All right. Oh, the other thing I just want to remind people, and I'll make this announcement a couple of times throughout the night, if you get a chance to subscribe to this channel, please do. Our ultimate goal over the course of the next couple of weeks is to try and somehow get 1,000 subscribers, at which place YouTube starts paying us. And then I don't have to ask you for donations to charity. We can just all watch and funnel that money to good causes. And thank you, by the way. Last week, at final count, we raised over $800 for Red Door Shelter here in Toronto, helping families who don't have safe homes during this pandemic. So thank you so much. I was so impressed at how quickly we raised over $800 for a great cause. Thank you. All right, here we go. I promised it would happen. A lot of people have been asking for it. James Armstrong may be the loudest advocate for this round. After weeks of people pleading, I am doing a musical round of musicals. These are movie musicals, Broadway musicals. I'm going to read out lyrics from a Broadway show or a musical that was on film, and you have to write down the musical. I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea. It is only one round. We'll see how you do. Hopefully everyone invited that one friend who's just obsessed with musicals. I'm not sure if Adam Pesky is playing tonight, who owns Reunion Coffee. He's a bit of a musical fan himself. All right, here we go. I will read, just like in the music round, I will read the lyrics twice and once at the end of the round. Starting with, and you just, all you need, you don't need the character name, you don't need the song name, you just need the name of the musical it appears in. Here we go. Musical number 1. One little girl in a pale pink coat heard lay, odelay, odelay, e-o. She yodeled back to the lonely goat herd, lay, odelay, odelay. Again, number 1. One little girl in a pale pink coat heard lay, odelay, odelay, e-o. She yodeled back to the lonely goat herd, lay, odelay, odelay, e-o. No effing way am I singing these lyrics. Not happening, if you're asking. Song number 2, musical number 2, here we go. Too late for second guessing, too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. Laura, I'm a big supporter of charities, but there is not a single charity or a single amount of money you could donate in the world that would motivate me to sing. But I like trying. I like your charitable spirit. We're going to have a donation night again in June, so keep that money standing by, but not tonight. Again, number 2. Too late for second guessing, too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. Here's number 3. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living, so different now from what it seemed. Here again is song number 3. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be So different from this hell I'm living. So different now from what it seemed. Here is song number 4, musical number 4. Bisexuals, trisexuals, homo sapiens, carcinogens, hallucinogens, men, Pee Wee Herman, German wine turpentine, Gertrude Stein. Brad, that was one time, and out of context, that sounds awful. You're going to get me booted off this platform. For those who weren't here last week, Brad's comment will make absolute no sense. Again, musical number 4. Bisexuals, trisexuals, homo sapiens, carcinogens, hallucinogens, men, Pee Wee Herman, German wine turpentine, Gertrude Stein. Yeah, Nicole, sorry. Some of these are stage musicals, some of these are movie musicals, and some are one that has become the other. In fact, I think almost all of them are probably both, but don't quote me on that. Here is number 5. Muscle men, contortionists, intrigue, danger, and romance, electric lights, machinery, powered with electricity. So exciting, the audience will stomp and cheer. So delighting, it will run for 50 years. Again, number 5. Muscle men, contortionists, intrigue, danger, and romance, electric lights, machinery, powered with electricity. So exciting, the audience will stomp and cheer. So delighting, it will run for 50 years. James, some of these, it's just hard not to. I'm trying my best, but these musicals just take over your entire soul. Here is musical number 6. Number 6. You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up. You better understand. To my heart, it must be true. You're the one that I want. Oh, 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 honey. Again, here is number 6. You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up. You better understand. To my heart, it must be true. You're the one that I want. Oh, 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 honey. Here is musical number 7. See the pretty girl in that mirror there? Who can that attractive girl be? Such a pretty face, such a pretty dress, such a pretty smile, such a pretty me. How great would it be if they were all Spider-Man? Again, number 7. See the pretty girl in that mirror there. Who can that attractive girl be? Such a pretty face, such a pretty dress, such a pretty smile, such a pretty me. Here is musical number 8. Again, listen to these lyrics, write down the musical you think it's from, and you'll get a point. Number 8. 2 by 2, I guess it's you and me. We're off to preach across land and sea. Satan has a hold of France. We need to knock him off his perch. We are the soldiers of the army of the church. Here again is number 8. 2 by 2, I guess it's you and me. We're off to preach across land and sea. Satan has a hold of France. We need to knock him off his perch. We are the soldiers of the army of the church. Here's number 9. Open the gates and seize the day. Don't be afraid and don't delay. Nothing can break us. No one can make us give our rights away. Arise and seize the day. Again, here's number 9. Open the gates and seize the day. Don't be afraid and don't delay. Nothing can break us. No one can make us give our rights away. Arise and seize the day. Here is the last musical in the round, number 10. Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness wakes and stirs imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Helpless to resist the notes I write. There's no musicals but trivia nights. I'll work on that. It's a blind spot. Here again is the last musical song in the round. Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness wakes and stirs imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Helpless to resist the notes I write. All right, those are the 10 songs in the round. I will read each one just one more time before we move on to the next round. Starting back with song number 1. Here it is. One little girl in a pale pink coat heard lay, odele, odele, hee-o. She yodeled back to the lonely goat herd, lay, odele, odele-o. Number 2. Too late for second guessing, too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. Here's number 3. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living, so different now from what it seemed. I have to say, if I had a couple more Negronis, this round would probably be a little different. Maybe it's good I didn't save it to do the very last part of the night, because it would be a lot more animated. Here is number 4. Bisexuals, trisexuals, homo sapiens, carcinogens, hallucinogens, men, Pee Wee Herman, German wine turpentine, Gertrude Stein. Number 5. Muscle men contortionists, intrigue, danger, and romance, electric lights, machinery, powered with electricity. So exciting, the audience will stomp and cheer. So delighting, it will run for 50 years. Here's number 6. You better shape up, because I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up. You better understand. To my heart, it must be true. You're the one that I want. Ooh, 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 honey. Here's number 7. See the pretty girl in that mirror there. Who can that attractive girl be? Such a pretty face, such a pretty dress, such a pretty smile, such a pretty me. Here is number 8. 2 by 2, I guess it's you and me. We're off to preach across land and sea. Satan has a hold of France. We need to knock him off his perch. We are the soldiers of the army of the church. Here's number 9. Open the gates and seize the day. Don't be afraid and don't delay. Nothing can break us. No one can make us give our rights away. Arise and seize the day. And finally, song number 10, last song in round number 3. Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness wakes and stirs imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses, helpless to resist the notes I write. All right, thank you, Jeremy. I'm gonna 100% guess you're being facetious, but I will take the feigned compliment nonetheless. I really wish I'd vote. Yeah, anyway. Moving on. That is round number 3. On to round number 4, which every week in quarantine at least has been the picture this round. So stand by. I'm going to drop a link into the chat. You're going to have to click on that link, and do as the document says, which is basically identify the 10 pictures that you see. Pretty simple. Let me find it. You're going to have, I think this is not a incredibly difficult round, so I'm going to set this at 7 minutes. You're going to have 7 minutes to list the 10 things that you see in this image. I will start 7 minutes, and then just as I hit send, seven minutes. Huh. I knew not everyone would like it. I knew some people would love that round, some people would hate it. We might bring it back, but not for a while. Here we go. 7 minutes starts now. You have the document. You're going to see images of classic toys. You have to be specific. If you simply say bicycle, you're not going to get a point. You have to actually have all of these toys have specific names. You can't just say board game or ball. You'll get it. Okay, sorry, no access. Hold on. No, okay. I did this last week. I got it. Sorry. Hold on. Try now. I will not make that mistake again, because every time I do, this is the second week I've forgotten to give access in advance, and my email inbox is nothing but 191 people asking to open a stupid PDF file. You should all have it now. You know what? Well, no, I'm not going to add extra time on the clock. You'll be just fine. You have 5 minutes and 30 seconds. How much time do we got now? 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 10 seconds to name the toys in the classic toy round. Again, yeah, I'm going to be pretty strict on it being the specific names of the toy itself. Two minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock as I get another drink. Checking on the time. We're getting down to the final moments. I believe 50 seconds left on the clock to complete the picture round. All right, 15 seconds. 15 seconds to complete the nostalgic toy round, and then we will take up the answers from rounds 3 and rounds 4. It is an IPA, Jacob. You know me oh so well. All right, that's it. That is round number 4 complete. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it is an IPA, as we've covered on this night before. I like IPAs, but it's this cool brew called All Together, and breweries all around, I think all around the world, at least all around Canada, are brewing this. And I don't think they charge a little more, but all the extra proceeds go to support hospitality and service workers who are falling on tough times, obviously, as a result of the COVID-19 crisis and aren't working. So if you happen to be at a brewery and you see this All Together brew, give it a shot, buy a couple bottles, because the money, the proceeds go to a great cause helping people who have been, it's All Together Now, is that what it's called? All Together Now, maybe. A worldwide collaboration brewed to support hospitality professionals. This is an IPA, 6.5%, so we'll have to finish the night in the next 45 minutes before I start to get slurry again. All right. Hospitality, heyo, spam, I like it. All Together Now. Yeah, go figure. James has had that beer already. All right. Time to take up the answers from rounds 3 and rounds 4. We'll start with round 3, obviously, the musical round, which some people love, some people hate it. It'll come back maybe at some point, but sparingly, because I don't want to alienate. I've already gotten like 3 or 4 texts from people, loyal drinkers and thinkers, who are calling bullshit. Here we go. The musical round, number 1. When you heard Goat Herd, you got to think Alps, got to think Austrian Alps, perhaps, and maybe think of The Sound of Music. It's a song from the, is it Rodgers and Hammerstein? Sound of Music, I think. starring Julie Andrews in the film version. Number 2, a little bit more recent, but certainly no less famous. Defying Gravity was the last line I read. That's a song title in the Tony Award-winning Wicked. Wicked with, what did we say again? Not Idina Menzel. Nazim. I've forgotten already. Wicked is number 2. Number 3, a lot of people have played this role, but Anne Hathaway sang this song most recently in the movie version of this musical, Les Mis, Les Miserables. Adele Dazeem, right, thank you, Adele Dazeem. Number 3, referencing all things very 90s in a way. This is a very 90s musical. It is Rent. Rent is number 4, Rent. Number 5, so exciting, the audience will stomp and cheer. So delighting, it'll run for 50 years. The cast of Moulin Rouge, the movie musical starring Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman and a whole bunch of others from 2001. Number 6, of course, that's when someone called me out for saying these were too easy. Number 6 is from Grease. Grease. Number 7, maybe one of the older musicals on this list. It is a song, I'm So Pretty, from West Side Story. West Side Story is number 7. Number 8, if you heard reference to We Are Soldiers of the Army of the Church, this might have prompted you to think religion and maybe think Book of Mormon. If you did think that, you're right. Book of Mormon was number 8. Number 9, I think this is one of the musicals in here that started as a movie and then ended up becoming a stage musical produced by Disney. The movie version actually, I think, starred Christian Bale. It's Newsies. Newsies is number 9. And number 10, classic Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, Phantom of the Opera is number 10. Phantom of the Opera. Again, those musicals starting from number 1. Sound of Music, Wicked, Les Mis, Rent, Moulin Rouge, Grease, West Side Story, Book of Mormon, Newsies, and Phantom of the Opera. Don't do anything yet, though, because we got to take up the answers for the picture round, which is round number 4, and then we'll get you to record your scores. I asked you to take a look at the link that I eventually gave you access to. I'll get better at that next week, and name the toys included in those photos. Photo number 1 is the twisted end of Bop It. Bop It is the answer to number 1, though. Bop It. Number 2 is the close-up. It looks incredibly freaky when you see it this close. The close-up of the mouth of a Furby doll. Furby. Number 3, those are the plastic, colored plastic pegs that you'd find in the old 70s. I think it came out in the 60s or 70s product. Light Bright. That was that was screen time back in my day. Staring at the Light Bright for a long time. Number 4 was a board game that you were only allowed to play once, and then your parents would lose their minds because it was impossible to set up, and you'd lose all the pieces. Number 4 is Mousetrap. It was a board game called Mousetrap. Number 5, these all have some nostalgia for me, but I remember this toy so well, especially the color that you see pop in that photo. Number 5, that's a Super Soaker. That was the original Super Soaker gun that came out in like I think 1991, maybe. Super Soaker. So I'm not. This is where I said I'm going to be specific here. For number 5, you have to call it a Super Soaker. It's not just a water gun. It's a whole different echelon of artillery. Super Soaker is number 5. Number 6. This is kind of hard to tell what it was, but if you look underneath it, it's a newspaper, and that might have given you a bit of a hint. It's actually a putty, or it's a piece of silly putty, and then the egg-shaped red container is sitting there off to the side. Silly putty is number 6. Number 7, also going to be specific. You have to. It's a Power Glove. Nintendo Power Glove. You don't have to do Nintendo. If you call it Power Glove, I'll accept it, but I'm not going to. If you just call it the Nintendo Glove, no, it's a Power Glove is the actual name of the toy. Yeah, I am. These you'll notice that a lot of these toys probably came out between the years of like 1986 and 1996. I'm 36, and these were all except for Furby. My generation, I don't think had the Furby, but all the other toys were very much in my cohort. Maybe this one too came out before I was a kid, but it persevered. It also was the original screen time. Etch-a-Sketch is number 8. Etch-a-Sketch is number 8. Number 9 is the Pogo Ball. Number 9 is the Pogo Ball, and number 10. If you pulled back a bit, you'd be able to tell right away. But it kind of looks like Lego blocks. It's not. It's actually the nostrils on the hippopotamuses that play Hungry Hungry Hippo. Hungry Hungry Hippo. So again, the toys to recap for round number 4: Bop It, Furby, Light Bright, Mousetrap, Super Soaker, Silly Putty, Power Glove, Etch-a-Sketch, Pogo Ball, and Hungry Hungry Hippo. Got it? Good. What's going on in the chat? The Wizard. Yeah, great movie. What was his name? What's his kid from Wonder Years in that? Savage. Fred Savage? Ben Savage? Fred Savage was in that. Such a great movie. Love that movie. Parents hated most of these toys, I feel like. There was not a parent. I mean, maybe. No, I don't think there's a single toy here that a parent would enjoy. Maybe Light Bright, but even still, as a parent, stepping on those fucking little pieces, I'm sure was murder. Maybe Etch-a-Sketch. Pogo Ball, your kid is definitely going to the hospital. I think the toys of our generation were designed to have parents hate them. Light Bright smells so specific. Interesting comment. We can have a whole night talking solely about toys from the good old days, but we won't, unfortunately. Instead, what we're going to do is have you enter your scores from rounds 3 and 4, and we will bring your averages back and let you know where we are heading into the final 2 rounds of the night. Also, I'm going to get a last call for the largest knife contest. I trust you all to be nonviolent with these utensils. That's why I'm doing it. But if you want to win the God Ugly oven mitt in the shape of a lobster claw, send a picture of your biggest knife in your house, and you might win. I'm going to close that once we begin round number. It's like when you're at a Leaf game. Start of the 3rd period, beer sales are done. Start of round 5, entry is closed for the self-isolation scavenger hunt. So get those photos in. That's so funny, Angie. Pogo Ball. Yeah, that was definitely. I always would pop the ball. I would jump, but then if you didn't squeeze it tight enough, the ball would just pop out of the plastic ring. All right. Here we go. I'm going to take a look at make sure everyone's scores are in for rounds 3 and 4. Looks like they are for the most part. The average for round 3, which was the musical round. Clearly, some people know their musicals. Other people's don't give a care for musicals at all, obviously, based on the scores. The average was 7. Seems to be the magic number of the night. Average score 7 for round 3. Average score for round 4. 8. And actually 8.7, so like closer to 9. People know their toys. Oh man. I want to see if there's anyone who scored like under 5, and I'm going to guess that they were born after the year 1998. No, everyone did incredibly well. I just got the best email, I think, in my entire life. Someone just wrote in and just said, "Hey, Mackay, miss you. Here's my knife." And I'm assuming there's a picture of a knife. I can't see it on my watch, but missed you too, Maya. Anyway, here we go. Those are the scores from rounds 3 and 4. We are now going to move on to the final 2 rounds of the night. Knife entries are closed. We are going to begin what we call the rapid fire round, which I don't repeat. I'll read twice, but I don't repeat it. It's a very formulaic round. Last week, all the answers were letters of the alphabet. This week, all the answers are cities. But here's how this is going to work. I'm going to read out a name. It's going to be a person's name. Let's, for example, because this name's on the list, I might read out a name like Lester B. Pearson. You have to name the airport or the city that person has an airport named after them. Got it? If I said something like, I'm trying to think of another example of one that I don't have in this list. Can't think of any off the top of my head. If I said John Heathrow, you'd have to write down London. Got it? That's this rapid fire. I'm going to read the questions twice, and that's it. Every answer is just the name of a city. That's all you need to do. I've probably over-explained it. I've taken longer explaining it than we will actually playing the rapid fire round. Here we go. Oh, my laptop keeps almost dying. Some of these are easier. Some of them are a little more challenging. Correct, Brad. Just the city name. You don't need the actual name of an airport. You just need the city in which that airport is located or the city it serves. Got it? Here we go. Starting with question number 1. John F. Kennedy. Question number 1, John F. Kennedy. Question number 2, in the rapid fire, John Lennon. John Lennon. Yeah, Jacob, I'm giving you a person's name. You have to give me the city in which there is an airport named after them. Airport number 2, or name number 2, is John Lennon. Number 3, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Number 4, John Diefenbaker. Number 4, John Diefenbaker. Question number 5, Charles de Gaulle. Number 5, Charles de Gaulle. Number 6, Pope John Paul II. Question number 6, Pope John Paul II. Question number 7, Marco Polo. Question number 7, Marco Polo. Question number 8, Genghis Khan. Number 8, Genghis Khan. Question number 9, Indira Gandhi. Question number 9, Indira Gandhi. And finally, question number 10, Louis Armstrong. Number 10, Louis Armstrong. All right, those are the clues that make up round number 5, the rapid fire round. Again, you had to name the city served by airports named after those people. All right, it is time to move on to the final round of the night, Final Jeopardy. These are the only questions of the night that I did not write, so you can't take it up with me if you do not like the way they are phrased or the way that they are the answers that are presented. But just like a Jeopardy round, I will present to you the category and the clue. I'll read it twice and once at the end of the round. Each correct answer is worth a single point. The date on which this Jeopardy episode aired is somewhat important because it frames the confines of these questions. When basically anything after this date cannot be included in the answers because it hadn't happened yet when these questions were written. The date this Jeopardy episode aired, almost exactly 8 years ago to the day, Thursday, May 31st, 2012. Barack Obama was just getting set to face off against Mitt Romney in the 2012 presidential election. What a simpler time. Anyway, I'll read the category and the clue. You give the answer. Question number 1. The category, the Gilded Age. The clue, the era known as the Gilded Age got its name from an 1873 novel by Charles Dudley Warner and this humorist. Category again, the Gilded Age, and the clue. The era known as the Gilded Age got its name from an 1873 novel by Charles Dudley Warner and this humorist. Yeah, May 31st, 2012 is when these questions were presented on Jeopardy. Question number 2, the category was TV show haiku. Alex would read a haiku that described a TV show, and contestants had to name that TV show. Here's the clue. An old favorite. Yes, I'm still Morley Safer, and I'm Leslie Stahl. Category again for number 2 is TV show haiku, and the clue. An old favorite. Yes, I'm still Morley Safer, and I'm Leslie Stahl. Question number 3, the category, misquotes with the letters MIS in quotation, meaning they must appear in the answer. The clue, the animals sang, quote, I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be this. Category again is misquotes with MIS in quotations, and the clue. The animals sang, quote, I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be this. Category for number 4 is city by population, and the clue, 4,800,006. I'm kidding, that's not the clue. That would be impossible. The clue for cities by population is this. A Brazilian giant in the world's top 10 with 11 million people. Category again for the question number 4 is city by population. And the clue, a Brazilian giant in the world's top 10 with 11 million people. Category for number 5 is fast cars. Fast cars is the category. The clue, The 1951 Hudson Hornet was the inspiration for this character, last name Hudson, voiced by Paul Newman in Cars. Category again is fast cars, and the clue. The 1951 Hudson Hornet was the inspiration for this character, last name Hudson, voiced by Paul Newman in Cars. Question number 6. The category, the Gilded Age. The clue. He was 88 when he passed away in California in 1951. Rosebud probably wasn't on his lips. Question number 6, the category, the Gilded Aged. Sorry, I don't know if I pronounced the D prior. The Gilded Aged, and the clue. He was 88 when he passed away in California in 1951. Rosebud probably wasn't on his lips. Question number 7, the category, where'd you get that title? The clue, Act 5 of Macbeth gave Faulkner the title of this novel. Category again is where'd you get that title? And the clue, Act 5 of Macbeth gave Faulkner the title of this novel. Question number 8, the category, discovering Japan. The clue, the Dutch discovery of Japan is subtitled The True Story Behind James Clavell's famous novel, This. Category again is discovering Japan, and the clue, the Dutch discovery of Japan is subtitled The True Story Behind James Clavell's famous novel, This. Question number 9, category, singers portrayed on film. The clue, Kristen Stewart in The Runaways. You have to name the character she portrayed. Obviously, the category is singers portrayed on film. And the clue, Kristen Stewart in The Runaways. Question number 10, the category, language lab. The clue, sometimes called Little Russian, it was banned in Russia from 1876 until 1905. Category again is language lab, and the clue, sometimes called Little Russian, it was banned in Russia from 1876 until 1905. And finally, the final Jeopardy question. The category is airline history, and the clue, Clipper Goodwill, a Boeing 727, took this airline's last passengers from Barbados to Miami on December 4th, 1991. Category again is airline history, and the clue, Clipper Goodwill, a Boeing 727, took this airline's last passengers from Barbados to Miami on December 4th, 1991. All right, those are the questions. I will repeat them each one more time very briefly before we take up the answers for rounds 5 and 6. I think I think it's amazing. There are a lot of, it seems like there's a lot, I'm watching the numbers come in. There's a lot of people discovering this channel for the first time, which is great. I think somehow we've landed on some YouTube For You page or something. But if you're just joining us, this is a trivia night based out of Toronto. Everyone's welcome to play, but keep your answers written down. We'll take them up at the end, and there's a Google Doc you can put your scores in if you want to compete for prizes. That's how this works. Here we go. Again, I'll repeat the questions again for round number 6, the final Jeopardy round. This Jeopardy episode aired in May of 2012. Question number 1, the category was the Gilded Age. The clue: the era known as the Gilded Age got its name from an 1873 novel by Charles Dudley Warner and this humorist. Question number 2, the category was TV show Haiku, and the clue: an old favorite. Yes, I'm still Morley Safer, and I'm Leslie Stahl. Question number 3, category misquotes, the letters MIS in quotations. The clue: the animals sang, quote, I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be this. Number 4, the category is cities by population. The clue: a Brazilian giant in the world's top 10 with 11 million people. Question number 5, the category fast cars. The clue: in 1951, Hudson Hornet was the inspiration for this character, last name Hudson, voiced by Paul Newman in Cars. Question number 6, the category, the Gilded Aged. The clue: he was 88 when he passed away in California in 1951. Rosebud probably wasn't on his lips. The clue for number 7, the category rather, was where'd you get that title? The clue: Act 5 of Macbeth gave Faulkner the title of this novel. Number 8, category, discovering Japan. Clue: the Dutch discovery of Japan is subtitled The True Story Behind James Clavell's famous novel, This. Number 9, the category, singers portrayed on film. The clue: Kristen Stewart in The Runaways. Number 10, the category, language lab. The clue: sometimes called Little Russian, it was banned in Russia from 1876 until 1905. And finally, the final Jeopardy category on this night in 2012 was airline history, and the clue was this: Clipper Goodwill, a Boeing 727, took this airline's last passengers from Barbados to Miami, December 4th, 1991. Here we go. We are now going to take up the answers from rounds 5 and rounds 6. Keep in mind, round 5 was the round where I gave you a person. You had to name the city that is serviced by an airport named after that person. Makai has a TikTok confirmed. What does that mean? I'm not forgetting to read the answers. I'm going to read the answers right now. But man, I now have an extremely threatening photo on my camera roll. What have I missed? This sounds dangerous. Anyway, we'll take up the answers to round 5. As I mentioned, the airport round. Question number 1, John F. Kennedy. That was maybe an easy one. JFK Airport, obviously, in New York City. New York City is the answer for number 1. Number 2, John Lennon. He probably assumed it was somewhere in the UK. And if you thought back to where the Beatles originated, you might be correct because you may have guessed Liverpool. Liverpool. Ronald Reagan. While I think it obviously is closely associated with California, Reagan International Airport actually services Washington, D.C. John Diefenbaker, former Prime Minister of Canada. He has an airport named after him here in Canada, in the middle of the country, in Saskatoon. Saskatoon is the correct answer for number 4. Number 5, Charles de Gaulle. This too is somewhat of a gimme, former president of France, and the man whom the largest airport in France is named after, Paris. Paris is the city. Number 6, Pope John Paul II. This was somewhat of a tougher one. Pope, I can't pronounce his birth name, but it was a Polish name. And Pope JP2 was, I think, born near or in Krakow. And that city now has an airport named after him, Krakow in Poland. Number 7, Marco Polo is the man who the airport in Venice is named after. Venice is the answer to question number 7. Genghis Khan, Mongolian leader, I guess, to put it very kindly. Ulaanbaatar, the biggest and capital city of Mongolia. Ulaanbaatar is number 8. Number 9, Indira Gandhi, the first female prime minister of India. She has the honor of having the airport in Delhi named after her. Delhi. And finally, Louis Armstrong. If you are arriving at Louis Armstrong International Airport, you are visiting the city of New Orleans. New Orleans is number 10. That was not, I don't think that was a super easy round. So well done to the teams that did well on it. I keep missing all these chats. Arlington is also in, well, it is also in Arlington, but it's certain, no one is flying in. It is technically in Virginia. I don't think there's actually physically an airport in Washington, D.C., but it services, no one's, yeah. I'm accepting Washington as the answer. You all said exactly what I was going to say. Well, New Delhi, is New Delhi fine? I always get mixed up with this one. Whether I think the airport is called Delhi International Airport, Indira Gandhi International Airport. Yeah, so it's the city of New Delhi. Okay, in Delhi or New Delhi, I will accept. Either or. All right, on to the Jeopardy round, which you cannot dispute. Gustav, thanks for joining us. This is towards the end of the night, and we do this every Friday, and you're certainly more than welcome to play again. I apologize that you've missed the bulk of the night. We usually play between 8 and 10 o'clock. 8 and 10 o'clock is usually the Eastern time. I don't know where you're joining us from, but 8 and 10 o'clock, between 8 and 10 p.m. Eastern time is when we play. Here we go. On to the answers from the Jeopardy round. Question number 1, the Gilded Age. The other humorist, or the humorist that went unnamed in that clue, Mark Twain. Mark Twain. Number 2, TV show Haiku. Morley Safer, Leslie Stahl, late Morley Safer is actually from Toronto. Those are both journalists who are on, in Leslie Stahl's case, 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes is the answer. Misquotes. That lyric from the Animal song is misunderstood. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. City by population, one of the world's top 10 largest is Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo. Number 5, fast cars. Hudson Hornet was the inspiration for the character Doc Hudson in TVs or in movies. Cars, the cartoon Cars. Doc Hudson. Number 6, Gilded Age. Rosebud probably wasn't on his lips, but he was the inspiration for the film Citizen Kane. He was William Randolph Hearst. Number 7, where'd you get that title? Faulkner got the title from Macbeth, the title to his novel, The Sound and the Fury. The Sound and the Fury is the correct answer. Ian Matthews, you're probably not wrong. Number 8, Discovering Japan. The Dutch discovery of Japan is subtitled The True Story Behind James Clavell's famous novel. That novel, Shogun. Shogun. Number 9, singers portrayed on film. Kristen Stewart in The Runaways. She played the singer Joan Jett. Joan Jett, the correct answer for number 9. Number 10, Language Lab. Sometimes called Little Russian. It was banned in Russia. We know it, though, as Ukrainian. Ukrainian. And finally, the airline that flew its last flight on December 4th, 1991 from Barbados to Miami was Pan Am. Pan Am. That is the end. I've successfully read the answers. I've read all the questions. I'm doing well tonight, better than I did last week. Hey-oh, Shogun, Show Night, well done. That's a callback is what we call that in comedy. Yeah, very smooth night. Not over yet, though. big finale. We got to award some prizes and figure out who's getting that lobster claw. So I'll give you a couple seconds to please go online, go into the Google Doc and enter your final score. I will finish judging the knife contest. A lot of knife picks. Oh my God, you guys got a lot of knives in your collection of knives. Holy shit. Too many knives. Oh my God. Wow. These are so, I should, oh, that's a good one. Oh my God. Father-son knives. That is incredible. Those are big knives. People are just showing me a lot of knives. That's not the challenge, some people. Ooh, geez. This is a tough one. I like people are including rulers. People take this seriously. Someone's got a giant spoon. That's pretty impressive, but not correct. See, a lot of people are including long knives, which is impressive, but not the same as big. God, it looks like I'm looking at like police evidence. Oh my gosh. Wow. See, some people are trying to pass swords off as knives. I'm hip tier ways. Okay. Hopefully everybody has oh, I can share again the if people need the link again. There are definitely I'm going to give a I'm going to give an there are a lot of people who have a lot of big knives, and that's very impressive. I don't know what I guarantee you're not actually cooking with those. I think there's just things to have around to impress people or to perhaps win oven mitts. But I'm going to give an honorable mention to Allie, who sent in this knife. You can see that. Oh. See how big that knife is? That is bigger than her head. That was very impressive. And it was a very, very close second to, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but Tamulin, who also had a very big knife, as big as her head, but I think it just extends a little bit longer. Oh, wait. I'm trying to get this. I'll post these on my social media, but congratulations. That knife is like, I mean, it's like the size of a DVD case. And it's long, but it's also wide. So congratulations, Tamulin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You win the biggest knife contest. You get the very gaudy, very ugly oven mitt shaped like a lobster claw. We'll be in touch, and I'll get your address, and I'll send you that oven mitt. They might just have small heads, but well done on them for using their small heads to their advantage. But thank you, everybody. I got some great knife photos. I'll make a little collage or something and share it. This has been maybe my favorite self-isolation scavenger hunt. So thank you. And congratulations to Tumulin, who wins the oven mitt. All right. Scores hopefully are now in for the final 2 rounds of the night. It looks like they are. I will add them up right now. Keep in mind we have some amazing prizes tonight, including LCBO gift card, as well as Steam Whistle beer, as well as what else do we have? LCBO gift card, as well as coffee from Reunion Coffee. Thanks so much to all our sponsors, Steam Whistle, Reunion Coffee, and my dad for giving the LCBO gift cards. Ooh, looks like it's gonna be a competitive night on both ends. All right, in the penultimate prize, again, this is a very good prize, the $20 LCBO gift card. We have two teams tied in the second last place. Those teams are Hoochie Mama and the Real IMDb. Congratulations to both those teams. What you need to do is answer this question. Two of the cities we mentioned in the round 5. Add the population of Paris with the population of Washington, D.C. without Googling. Enter your guess in the tiebreaker field in the Google Doc. Do that now as I make note of the teams who came in our top 10 finishing places. Very close night tonight, everyone. I'll reveal the final average as well in just a second, in case you're wondering how you did compared to some of your fellow teams. All right. We have quite a few ties in the top 10 tonight, but I want to take a minute and thank everyone for playing tonight. And I want to thank everybody for sticking around. 200 people still watching, and it's 10 at night, and that's incredible. I know it's because there's nothing else to do in the world, but I'm still going to take it as a compliment that you guys are enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And if you have suggestions, or if you have prizes that you want to offer up, or if you have ideas, please email me at mckaytaggart@gmail.com. We'll be back next Friday at the same time, 8 until 10 o'clock Eastern time. Tell your friends and spread the word, because the more people who watch, the more close we hopefully get to our goal of 1,000 subscribers, and start making some money for a good cause as we tune in together. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Yeah, exactly. The problem, Steve, though, is when things are back normal, I got to find a bar to do it again, because unfortunately, Clinton's, at least at last check, is no more. So if anyone has a bar they want to have drinking and thinking return to, keep that open or keep that on top of your mind when we are ready to return. Yeah, I guess that's it. Subscribe. Got some special things planned for June. Next week, I think, might mark almost the 10th week we've been doing this, which is pretty incredible. But without further ado, the teams that came in top 10 tonight, congratulations. These 4 teams tied for 10th place. They are Honeywagon Swampers, Mackay's Wayfarer Chairs, My Dog Has Pink Eye, Let's Play Trivia, and Cut Your Own Hair and Save. Congratulations, tied for 10th. Here are the teams tied for 9th. Live in Covita Local, Happy Graduation Alley, Case of the Mondays, and Bunch of Bazooper Boys tied in 9th. In 8th place tonight, Soup Lovers 2.0, Information of Little Importance or Value, The Rockaways, and Panic Level Midnight, as well as Who's Afraid of the WHO? Tied for, what did I say, 9th or 8th place. Congratulations. In 7th place, Joey Triviani, Praz, featuring Old Dirty Bastard and introducing Maya. As well, tied for 7th, I Get Locked Down, But I Get Up Again. In 6th place tonight, You're a Quizzard Harry, as well as We Own 5% of Grime Soul. Happy Birthday, Robson. In 5th place, Tit Soup for the Quarantine Soul, as well as Quiz Free or Die. In 4th place tonight, O Trivia Mun. They're tied with Playing Pantless and Quizlings. In 3rd place tonight, just a couple points back from, just 1 point back from coming in 2nd. Bytown Pandemic Badgers. Congratulations. You guys are in 3rd place, and you tied with Special K and the Bem Bems. Both those teams, Bytown Badgers and Special K and the Bem Bems, tied for 3rd. They were 1 point back from these 3 teams that tied for 2nd. And these 3 teams are going to have a tiebreaker. Those 3 teams are Keith Urban Missile, Ra Ra Rasputin, and Billy Ray Virus. Congratulations. You all tied for 2nd place. You are in the running for 2 pounds of free coffee from Reunion Coffee in Roncy. But first, you have to answer a very tough, maybe, trivia tie-breaking question. And that question is, you have to, why don't we do this? Add the current age of Julie Andrews, Ewan McGregor, who else did we see in that? And Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman, Ewan McGregor, and Julie Andrews. Add those current ages without looking them up together. Add it into the tiebreaker field, and we'll see who gets the penultimate or the 2nd place prize. And congratulations to tonight's 1st place winner with a very impressive score of 59. Tarps Off. Tarps Off. Congratulations. Coming in 1st place tonight. Very well done. All right, the average score, in case you're wondering. And I'm still waiting from the real IMDb if you're around. Last call, or else Hoochie Mama is going to get that LCBO gift card. Real IMDb, you got to enter your tiebreaker guess. In case you're wondering, the average score amongst all teams after all 6 rounds of play was 42. Congratulations to teams that scored above 42. You are above average. Well done. So again, if you are Keith Urban Missile, Ra Ra Rasputin, or Billy Ray Virus, please enter your tiebreaker question now, and I'll reveal who it is that gets that coffee from Reunion Coffee. I still don't see a guess from real IMDb, and I'm going to check the chat. Are they chiming in? No. All right. Therefore, congratulations to the folks from, I've just lost it. Where'd it go? Hoochie Mama. Congratulations. I don't even know what the correct answer is, but you're the only one who answered, so therefore you are right. Now I got to do the math and figure out. I'll give 10 more seconds to those 2nd place teams to enter their guess for the age of Julie Andrews, Nicole Kidman, and Ewan McGregor. When you add those together, this is the number you arrive at. All right, let's see who has entered. Do we have guesses? We have guesses from all. Oh my God, this is very intense. We have a guess from Keith Urban Missile of 183. We have a guess from Ra Ra Rasputin of 180, and a guess from Billy Ray Virus of 188. You were all so close. Julie Andrews is currently 84. Nicole Kidman is 52. Ewan McGregor is 49. The correct answer is 185, meaning that just by a single point, Keith Urban Missile wins second place tonight. Billy Ray Virus, very close, off by a point, and Ra Ra Rasputin, not far off either. Well done. Send me an email, people from Keith Urban Missile. Again, it's up to you. If you win a prize, send me an email, and we'll figure out how to get you that prize. Thank you so much to everybody for joining in again tonight. This has been a lot of fun, and stay well. Support people in our community who need it, or you can help in any way related to COVID or any other crisis that our world is seemingly facing, and be nice to each other. Yeah, the coffee is great. The folks from Reunion are amazing, and they've been really supportive. So thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to everyone who's playing. And I look forward to seeing you guys next weekend or next Friday on more Quizzing and Quarantine. Have a great week. And subscribe.